my shoulder messed up, everyone. You know, so don't tell Canelo. You know, it may be the right, maybe the left, but it's both of them. I'm having problems with my shoulders.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds.
Is it something to worry about? Yes. Can it affect the fight? Absolutely. I just said how.
The entire boxing world has been shaken to its core following shocking reports that Terence "Bud" Crawford may have suffered a significant injury just days before his long-awaited super fight with Canelo Alvarez. This matchup, which had been hyped as one of the most historic and skillful clashes in modern boxing, is now surrounded by uncertainty. What was meant to be a night of greatness could now be derailed by injury and speculation. Fans, fighters, and analysts across the globe have flooded social media and sports networks, questioning whether the fight should proceed or be postponed.
But word on the street is that Bud Crawford has hurt his shoulder or re-injured a shoulder that had been surgically repaired.
Former world champion and respected boxing analyst Timothy Bradley didn't hold back when asked about Crawford's alleged injury. Known for his sharp tongue and brutal honesty, Bradley dismissed the news as potential mind games or early excuses. He argued that true champions rise above setbacks and that greatness is proven in moments of pain, not comfort. According to Bradley, Crawford may already be feeling the pressure of facing one of the most dangerous fighters alive, suggesting that talk of injury could be a mental defense mechanism. Real champions fight through adversity, Bradley stated firmly, calling into question whether Crawford is mentally ready for Canelo's relentless power. His comments quickly went viral, igniting passionate responses from both fans and fighters who either defended Crawford's integrity or agreed with Bradley's harsh but realistic stance.
For 100%. Crawford is 100%. If he ain't 100%, he 90%. He's still gonna fight. He's still gonna fight. That's just what it is. Forget that shoulder. Bro, this is what we sign up for. This is part of being a fighter. That's what it's part of. This is what you wanted. This is what you got. This is what comes with it. That's it. Stop making excuses. No team. Winner takes all on this.
Legendary fighter and Golden Boy Promotions founder Oscar De La Hoya offered a more analytical take. He acknowledged that Crawford's decision to move up multiple weight divisions is both courageous and risky. De La Hoya emphasized that Canelo's natural size, experience, and power at super middleweight will be a massive factor, particularly in the later rounds. While he praised Crawford's boxing IQ, speed, and adaptability, De La Hoya made it clear that skill alone might not overcome raw power and ring strength. Canelo is used to fighting and thriving at this weight, he said. Crawford might be sharp early, but once Canelo starts applying pressure and landing those heavy body shots, it's a different kind of fight. He predicts a late stoppage or a convincing Canelo decision, with Crawford's movement slowing under constant punishment.
You feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, it's going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo, who's a natural 175. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters. Yeah. He's not getting rattled at all.
No.
Berlanga's a big kid.
Right.
Yeah. So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him hard. Right. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork.
Boy Anthony, Executive Club, getting a fresh haircut. But just want to talk about Canelo. Crawford is coming up this weekend, and everybody's excited. Here in Vegas, the electricity is in the air. So, look, even though these guys are, combined almost 80 years old, it should be a good fight. And let me tell you why. Crawford is coming up 2 weight classes, and he's coming off a year's layoff. So that's a huge advantage for Canelo. If Canelo forces his will on him, he'll probably be 190 pounds inside the ring on fight night. I give him a great shot in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round to knock out Crawford. If he doesn't do that, then Crawford is going to box his ears off. It might be another Mayweather versus Canelo. Remember when Mayweather was just schooling him and making him look silly? That can happen again this Saturday. So everything has to be perfect for Crawford. He has to use his footwork. He has to use his speed, his combinations, his ring IQ. He has to stay disciplined. And Canelo, all he has to do is take Crawford's punches, but he cannot be comfortable inside the ring.
boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult addressed the growing storm of injury rumors head-on. He acknowledged that such speculation often surfaces before big fights, either as a tactic to manipulate betting lines or to build emotional storylines. Showbiz explained that while Crawford has indeed been inactive for over a year and is now 37 years old, factors that naturally raise questions, there's no solid evidence that he's truly injured. He reminded fans that even minor training aches can be exaggerated into breaking news. However, he didn't completely dismiss the possibility that the process of bulking up to super middleweight could have caused soreness or joint issues. Still, his ultimate message was clear: until we hear it from Crawford himself, these are just rumors. The truth comes out when the first bell rings.
From this side of my mouth, is it something to worry about? Yes. Can it affect the fight? Absolutely. I just said how, right? Absolutely can. Especially when you're packing on extra muscle, your shoulders get heavy anyway. When your shoulders are overdeveloped and you're packing muscle on. And if you have a shoulder injury, it will affect you, okay? I mean, I'm one of those people. It is what it is. I say it all the time, bro. It is what it is, all right? These are human beings. They're real people. If you have an injury, it will affect you 100%. These aren't robots. This ain't a damn cartoon. It's not a movie. It's real life, all right? A lot of you guys got issues now physically. You throw you in a ring, you'll be like, yo, my back was killing me. You know what I'm saying? But with that said,
former welterweight champion Shawn Porter, who shared the ring with Crawford in 2021, voiced his concerns. Porter spoke with the insight of a man who's felt Crawford's power firsthand, but he emphasized the difference between fighting a welterweight and going toe-to-toe with a natural super middleweight like Canelo. Porter worries that Crawford, despite his precision and timing, will struggle with the sheer physicality of Alvarez over 12 grueling rounds. Canelo's not just powerful, Porter explained, he's patient. He breaks opponents down piece by piece. Porter warned that once Canelo starts targeting the body and cutting off the ring, even Crawford's brilliant movement could fade under pressure. While he believes Crawford has the heart and intelligence to compete, Porter fears the size and strength gap might simply be too much to overcome.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Crawford, however, has personally dismissed all injury rumors as nonsense. Speaking to reporters in Las Vegas, he laughed off the speculation, stretching his arms and rotating his shoulders to demonstrate he's fully healthy. "I don't know where people get this stuff," he said confidently. "My shoulder's fine. My body's fine. I'm in the best shape of my life." He added that critics often look for reasons to doubt him, especially now that he's challenging a bigger name at a higher weight. Crawford emphasized that his preparation has been flawless and that no rumor, no distraction, will shake his focus. Calm, collected, and composed, he declared that this fight is the defining moment of his career and he intends to make history.
There's rumors that you've got a shoulder injury. Do you have a shoulder injury, or is that just rubbish?
Where I got a shoulder injury, I don't know. I think people coming up with their own, antics. Terence Crawford got a shoulder injury. Terence Crawford out of shape. Terence Crawford slow. Terence Crawford. Yeah, they coming up with all kinds of stuff.
Are you feeling a difference in power now you've moved up and you're at your natural weight?
Of course. Power is definitely going to come with it. So that's not any worries that I ever had.
Crawford's jabs don't even miss. Canelo's punches come like a brick. Both got a bag for the tricks. They must eat their weed to fix. Don't come at me, you'll get this. You lanky streak and piss. Don't pull your boat 'cause you sis. Go chill and watch Netflix 'cause the big guns in a mix.
Despite Crawford's firm denials, skeptics aren't convinced. Photos circulating online appear to show minor swelling near his left shoulder, which critics cite as evidence of an underlying issue. Some suggest that Crawford might be hiding an injury to avoid giving Canelo's team a strategic edge, while others argue it's simply part of the psychological chess game leading up to a mega fight. Concerns have also been raised about Crawford's age and inactivity. After more than a year out of the ring, even a small injury could have major consequences. While fans remain divided, one thing is certain: the tension surrounding this fight is growing by the hour.
Totally debunked this shit. He said that he has no shoulder injury. But at the same time, bro, you can't expect Terence Crawford to come out here right before the fight, if he is injured, that is, and say like, no, yeah, my shoulder is injured. Of course he's not going to do that shit, right? So he has to deny it. So Terence Crawford denying that he has a shoulder injury, it doesn't really mean shit to me. But how true this is, we're going to hear the truth about this shoulder injury after the fight. This is probably when, if Terence Crawford loses, you're probably going to hear that, yeah, my shoulder was injured, this and that, you know. Just the list of excuses that just keeps piling up with this guy, you know. Or not with him. I'm not saying Terence Crawford is using these excuses.
In response to doubts about his legacy and readiness, Crawford delivered a passionate defense of his record. He reminded fans that he's undefeated, a multi-division world champion, and one of the few fighters in history to become undisputed in 2 different weight classes. He pointed to his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr. as proof that he thrives under pressure. "People forget I've been proving myself my whole career," he said. "Every time they doubt me, I show them who I am." Crawford rejected the idea that moving up in weight somehow diminishes his credibility, arguing that greatness comes from challenging yourself, not staying comfortable.
But, you know, some people say that you've not faced the level of power and precision to the body that Canelo brings, that he's different. Do you think he brings anything different to the table that you haven't seen?
Well, they always say that, you know? They say that with Spence. He's the body snatcher. He's going to break my ribs and so forth, you know? We shall see.
How do you want people to remember this performance when it's all said and over? What's the headline the next day?
Listen, they're gonna come up with their own analogy, you know? All I know is they're going to be saying Terence Crawford was spectacular September 13th.
Crawford's training camp has only intensified the conversation. New footage and photos reveal a completely transformed physique, thicker arms, broader shoulders, and a visibly more powerful frame. He's bulked up dramatically, looking like a fighter built for war. Fans were stunned by his new look, with some claiming this is the strongest, most muscular version of Crawford ever seen.
Hi again, Coach. They say that Crawford got injured, and then is that true? What people say that? 100%. He's ready for the fight for this Saturday. You gotta say that in the news, right? In the news. You got it. Thank you very much.
Canelo, what did you think about the picture of Crawford? You know, he's looking pretty muscular. What do you think about that?
I think it's good because we see he prepared himself really well, and you expect a really good fight. So,
thank you.
Despite the added mass, Crawford's team insists that his agility and reflexes remain razor-sharp. Strength coach reports indicate a focus on functional power, building explosiveness without sacrificing the speed and precision that define his style. Those close to camp say Crawford has found the perfect balance between size and mobility. His sparring partners have reportedly been struggling to keep up, describing him as a moving tank with sniper accuracy.
It's been good, and this is the biggest fight in the last 10 years.
What do you make of Terence Crawford's shape? He posted that photo with the six-pack. How do you think he's handling the weight?
This is the fight, the biggest fight for them, and they will be ready 100%, both of them.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, attention has also turned toward Canelo Alvarez's recent performances. Critics note that the Mexican superstar hasn't appeared as dominant as he once was, pointing to slower footwork, fewer combinations, and reduced punch output in later rounds. Some attribute this decline to years of grueling fights and injuries, particularly issues with his hands. Others argue that Canelo's maturity and tactical patience have replaced his youthful explosiveness. While he may not be as fast, his timing and precision remain elite. Still, whispers of decline have added another layer of intrigue to this showdown. Can Canelo still deliver a classic performance against a fighter as sharp as Crawford?
Right now. Well, you guys got to keep this in mind, right? So everybody that's out here saying like, oh no, Bud is looking bigger than Canelo and this and that, right? You guys got to keep in mind that Canelo is doing his usual weight cut. Canelo, did you guys see the footage of Canelo arriving on his private jet and where he got off of the stairs and shit, right? And he looked like he was kind of drunk. He looked like he looked kind of crackheaded-ish, right?
We are ready here in Vegas, ready for Saturday, September 13th. Thanks, Riyadh Season and Turkey Al-Ashir. We're ready.
He looked off, but then I really paid attention, and that's because he's cutting weight, bro. Canelo looks like that because he's cutting weight. I'm not gonna say he's weight trained or nothing like that, but he's struggling, bro. You could see the shit in his face and all of that. You know, pay close attention, bro. A lot of people are thinking that he was drunk when he got off of that plane, but I don't think it was that, bro. I just think that he's that weight.
Chicago-based fighter Kenneth Sims Jr., who has sparred with Crawford numerous times, shared a revealing memory with World Boxing News. Sims recalled that during their first session, Crawford's intensity shocked him. From the first bell, he controlled everything, Sims said. His timing, his rhythm, it was unreal. I thought I was ready, but he made me feel like an amateur. Sims admitted that even years later, Crawford still dominates him every time they share the ring. The respect in his tone was unmistakable, describing Crawford as the smartest fighter I've ever faced.
Did Terence Crawford beat you up in sparring? Because a lot of people have told me, even Shakur told me that Bud has beaten me up in sparring before. Like
The first time we sparred, he beat my ass.
Yo, why does this nigga do? Bud be like trying to beat up niggas for real in sparring.
Yeah, he beat my ass the first time we sparred. Nah, but that was before we went to camp together. So that was Bud, his baby mom, she from Chicago, so he come up here and he had called me whenever he come up here and be like, yo, what you doing? So this was I was like 19, 20 years old. He called me, bro. I said, I ain't doing nothing. I said, you got your shit?
You know, Bud competitive, you know he gonna be.
He said, yeah. I said, come to the gym.
Right.
I did alright, but he would be, but I did alright.
Yeah.
But when we was in camp with for the camp with American camp, it was great work. It's like boxing. You have your days, he had his days. Good sport.
As the fight draws closer, expert predictions remain split but slightly favor Crawford. Many analysts believe his intelligence, movement, and adaptability could edge out a close decision victory, especially if he can avoid Canelo's power shots. Others argue that Canelo's size, pressure, and experience at super middleweight give him a clear advantage, particularly in the middle rounds. The general consensus, it will be a tactical war, not a brawl. Both men have the skill, mindset, and legacy to make this a classic.
Canelo. I hope Crawford beats the Really? Yeah. Nah, I'll tell you like this, man. I mean, the weight division thing, I hope Crawford beats the
But trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret is the reason why I'm picking him to win the fight. So.
Obviously, Crawford's a great fighter, Canelo's a great fighter, but I just think that this has more hype around it, and we just saw them come off of some boring-ass fights, and they're probably just going to sit there and dance for 12 rounds.
Who is Canelo? What Canelo is going to show up? The Canelo who's looking to cash a big check, or the Canelo that really wants to fight like a fighter?
At the seams, you got to pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford. He done signed up to do what everybody thought that he wasn't trying to be, a generational talent.
So the question remains, do you believe Terence Crawford is genuinely injured and keeping it hidden? Or is this just another layer of psychological warfare designed to stir up anticipation before the biggest fight of the year? One thing's certain, whatever the truth, when Crawford and Canelo finally step into that ring, all the rumors, doubts, and debates will fade away, leaving only two warriors in one defining moment in boxing history.